We often burn out before we even begin, exhausting ourselves by sprinting on a treadmill calibrated to someone else's expectations. To step off that machine, you have to pause and decide what accomplishment actually looks like for you, personally. Is it financial independence? A healthy family? The answer determines your direction. Look at this diagram comparing how different mindsets handle stress. The volatile red line shows negative thinkers, while the stable blue line tracks optimistic thinkers. Medical studies show that by actively maintaining optimism, people are 13% less likely to experience a heart attack under pressure. A positive mindset physically protects your body from stress. That protection gives you the baseline confidence to believe in your own abilities. When you trust your skills, optimism turns into the courage required to take action. But raw motivation and a healthy mindset are entirely invisible. To survive the real world, you have to build a strict physical architecture around those intentions. Abstract desires evaporate under pressure. To make them real, you have to force them into a rigid structure. This diagram represents the SMART framework. First, specificity defines your exact outcome. Second, measurability assigns a concrete tracking number. Then, achievability ensures the target is possible. Next, relevance aligns with your personal definition of success. Finally, time-bound imposes strict deadlines. This framework gives you a perfectly calibrated map. But a map cannot walk the path for you. The real test begins the moment your alarm rings the next morning. You wake up, look at a massive to-do list, and immediately feel the instinct to scroll your phone or check emails. The human brain naturally recoils from difficult tasks. To break that paralysis, you have to eat the frog. This means identifying the single most intimidating, highest leverage task on your list and attacking it before you do anything else. When you conquer your largest obstacle in the first hour, the psychological weight lifts. The rest of the day opens up, driven by the momentum of that early victory. Eventually, though, the daily effort gets exhausting. You will hit a plateau, and the temptation to find a shortcut will be overwhelming. Bypassing difficult steps skips the hidden lessons required for competence. Without that structural integrity, rapid progress eventually collapses under its own weight. Enduring achievement is forged through relentless, daily consistency. Doing things the slow, hard way proves the most efficient route to the finish line. Maintaining that level of daily consistency requires immense endurance. If you ignore the internal friction, you invite complete burnout. This graph illustrates one of the biggest internal threats: unfair comparison. The first curve represents someone years into their journey, compounding their results over time. If you plot your day 1 against their year 10, the comparison is mathematically invalid and instantly kills your motivation. Instead of comparing yourself to strangers, break out of isolation by talking to people you trust. Close friends and mentors provide objective feedback and help you course correct when you lose perspective. You also have to maintain the physical machine doing the work. Eating well, exercising, and purposefully scheduling time for hobbies are absolute physiological requirements for sustaining high-level cognitive function. When frustration builds, you need a strategic break. Stepping completely away from a problem unwinds accumulated mental pressure, allowing you to return with renewed clarity. Reaching your target requires deliberate balance. You pair periods of intense output with calculated, intelligent maintenance. So you do the work, you manage the friction, and you finally reach that SMART goal. What happens next? The instinct is to stop and rest on that single victory. But stopping breeds complacency, and the skills you built will quickly decay. The true reward of achieving a goal is internal. By enduring the process, your brain wires a permanent physical pathway. You create a subconscious master template for success. By overcoming adversity once, your mind learns the exact mechanics of how to succeed. When you apply this template to a completely different area of your life, the process becomes significantly easier. To keep this engine running, you have to adopt the identity of a lifelong learner. You continually evaluate what fulfillment looks like, pick a new target, and start the cycle again. Success is a compounding process. The more you achieve, the more capable you become of taking on larger challenges. The framework is ready. The first step is yours.